you to your light. Hello, 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 everyone. I am so glad to see you. This is Dr. Joan of Angels. And as you've noticed, I've combined the Dr. Joan with the angels, and that's part of the new integration. So you are on the Dr. Joan of Angels show. I am so glad that you're with me. Now, I have an extraordinary show for our very first launch. I think you're going to love it. So what if I told you that you're not just using a fraction of your brain, but you're missing out on over 300 senses that could unlock your true power? Today, we are going to deep dive into this fascinating topic with Nate Zeleznick, one of the world's foremost experts on combining ancient wisdom with modern science. He's a master trainer of rare Indonesian energy and martial arts system and has spent 20 years helping people across superhuman capabilities through revolutionary breathwork, meditation, and energy management techniques, which he is going to share with us today. So today in this episode, we are going to explore the concept of the 355 forgotten senses and how activating them could dramatically enhance your physical, mental, and spiritual abilities. So guys, stick around till the end of the show. I'm your host, Dr. Joan of Angels, and on this show, we're going to be exploring wellness, alternative healing, and unlocking the full potential of your human experience. I'm Dr. Joan Hangarter, and I'm also known as Joan of Angels for the art that I do. And over 40 years, I've dedicated my life to helping people heal, transform, and thrive on every level, physical, emotional, and spiritual. So I'm pleased to take you on this journey to discover how ancient wisdom and modern science can combine to help you master your own reality. Good. That's enough said on all of that. I'm so happy to welcome you, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Nate. He is a pioneer in personal development. He is one of only 2 American master trainers of this rare Indonesian energy system. He is the creator of the I Am, the Integrated Ascension Method, and the White Dove Method. His teachings integrate ancient wisdom with modern science to achieve unparalleled physical, mental, and spiritual breakthroughs. He's been featured on Netflix, Gaia, and Amazon Prime. His revolutionary approach has been validated by experts across multiple scientific fields, making Nate a leading authority on human potential and longevity. So we are really lucky to have you today, Nate. I want to welcome you to our show.
Thank you, Dr. Joan. I sure appreciate it. And hello to everybody out there who's watching or listening. It's an honor and blessing to be here with you.
So I know you do incredible work. And before we get to the incredible work you do, how did you get there? Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, my journey, my spiritual journey, started as a very young child raised in a small mountain town in Utah. And why that's relevant is that for people who are familiar with Utah, you'll know that there is a predominant religion here. And in the 70s and 80s, and not so much now in this place, but there was a lot of exclusion. And so being the child of 2 Northern California ski bum hippies who moved to Utah just for the great snow, when I went to school, I found out very quickly that I was not like the other kids, and they let me know it. And there was a lot of bullying and a lot of torment, really physically and mentally, that happened right from the beginning, even sometimes by their parents. If you can imagine having one of your scout leaders' wives tell you that you're going to burn in hell because you're not going to their church, that's pretty heavy for an 8-year-old. So I really felt less than for the early part of my life until I was about 12 years old. I was 12. And I was sitting on my father's office floor with a loaded rifle pointed at my head. And I was just done. I had it. They would come to my house to kick my ass during the summer sometimes. That it didn't seem like I was ever safe. And so I was trying to work this thing out. And the thing that stopped me was thinking about my mom and my dad, and that I couldn't do that to them. And so I put the rifle away as if it had never been touched before. And that night is where I really credit my higher self with saving myself, where I actually started to have my first out of body experience. And I rose up out of my body and I disconnected my consciousness from my physical. And I didn't know what was happening. I really was hoping that I was dead, actually, because that was where I was at mentally. But obviously I wasn't. And I experienced this sense of freedom, of expansion that I can't describe unless you've experienced it. And from that point on, I became very, I'll say, obsessed with spirituality and with what is real, really, what is real, because I knew that I was a lot more than just this physical body. But what was I? How much more was I, or are we? And so when I was 16, I mean, while other boys were out getting jobs so they could take girls to school dances, I was buying things like Journeys Out of the Body, the quintessential book on out of body experiences, the Monroe Institute's Hemisync tapes to help me with this transition. And I really dove as deep as I could into the, I guess you'd call the woo woo or the spirituality, the science of the non-physical or non-local functions of consciousness. And I was very I was very comforted by the fact that the CIA had trained remote viewers in Virginia to spy on the Soviets. And this was something that did have some legitimacy. It spirituality, and I'm sure you remember, Dr. Joan, back in the 70s and 80s and before, there were the people like Mahatma Gandhi or Maharishi Mahesh Yogi Babaji that started to expand this, but it wasn't like a common thing. And now, anytime you get on Instagram or Facebook, you see people talking about the universe and how things are unfolding for them, and this upcoming and actually underway shift that's happening socially, economically, in our ecologically and spiritually that you
Mm-hmm.
never had before. So we have so much more information now, which is a beautiful thing. And when I was 23, I had my life path really just laid right out in front of me. And that was, I saw a documentary, an Indonesian martial arts documentary, which I always wanted to be a ninja and a Jedi. So it was right up my alley to see these
Yes.
people doing the most amazing things I'd ever seen. And I'd seen a lot of martial arts, but I had never seen people who were not breaking bricks and little boards. They were breaking steel bars and stacks of them. And they looked like they were having a great time. And that was neat. But on this documentary, it also showed people who were blindfolded, who could do anything that somebody with sight can do. And I mean, driving cars through Jakarta's busy traffic, running through obstacle courses, riding bicycles in between different people and doing amazing things. But it showed blind people who
Yes.
could read printed material. And the next day, I had what I consider my synchro destiny, where I watched a blind woman almost die in front of me, trying to cross the road. So if you can just imagine, you see these things, you're having all these experiences, you see this fantastical, magical videotape that is also kind of unbelievable if you think about it. But then the next day, the universe, your higher self, your soul says, here you go. Just pay attention. We're talking. This is what you're supposed to do. And so I knew I had to bring those people from Indonesia here to America to help blind people. And then I found out some more cool things about them, that it was a 500-year legacy that was passed down within a royal family in Java, and they
Mhm.
had never allowed a non-Indonesian person to learn or see this or learn this. And so then I just wanted to connect them. I wanted to connect them with the blind schools here. I wanted to help them and be a liaison, if you will. And when they were leaving, after we did these demonstrations for the Indonesian ambassador, did them for the Utah schools for the deaf and blind, did them at my alma mater, Weber State University, they allowed me to start training as the very first non-Indonesian in history to learn.
Oh,
And there just so happened, because coincidences do not exist in my world, there was a certified trainer, a former special forces trainer of this art that lived in Salt Lake City, an hour south of me. And I found out during their time here that this has been standard training, this breath work, meditation, energy healing, and sensory development system has been standard training for every branch of the Indonesian military for about 50 years now, because it works. Like, unlike anything else I've ever encountered, when it comes down to clarity, vitality, virility, when it comes down to immune function, when it comes down to oxygen utilization in the body, developing our inner power, expanding our senses, being able to heal ourselves and other people quickly using energy that we produce inside ourselves rather than channeling, it stands alone. There is nothing like it that I've ever encountered. And so being able to train in this, and then having the honor of training with one of my younger brothers, a few weeks after I started, he decided he wanted to do this too. And together we owned and operated one of the largest martial arts schools in the country. We traveled to Indonesia numerous times for long training sabbaticals to test, to participate in the national tests over there, and also to teach people over there as well. And then COVID came along and it restructured the entire martial arts industry. As we know, it restructured everything. And we had to switch. We had to shut down our school and the martial arts training that we were doing, because nobody wanted to spar from 6 feet and nobody wanted to spar with a mask. And when you're on Zoom and you're trying to teach a martial arts lesson and the kids are eating sandwiches or people are not paying attention, it's like,
no. It doesn't work. Of course.
It doesn't work. It only works just like anything else. It only works if they do. And so we switched to a seminar format. And then a couple of years ago, I decided I wanted to expand my horizons and help people even more than I was able to before. And I formed the Integrated Ascension Method and the White Dove Method. The White Dove, why that's relevant is that this system from Indonesia is, in Indonesian, it is called Merpati Putih. Now, Merpati Putih literally translated means white dove. And so when I decided to branch out on my own, I called it the White Dove Method. But I wasn't satisfied with only this next level breath work and meditation and energy development. I also, I'll be honest, Dr. Joan, I am such a nerd. I love all the new technology and I love what's coming along with biohacking and all kinds of things. And so I decided I was going to form a new art called the Integrated Ascension Method, where I take this breath work, I take this energy development, but I combine things like biohacking, pyramid scalar energy, vibroacoustic therapy, EEG brain training, nutrition, supplementation, all kinds of goodies that we didn't have access to even 5 years ago, a lot of it. And when we combine those, people go from hello to holy crap, literally in minutes.
Really? So it's not actually a yogi or sort of a martial arts training. It's a combination.
So I do not teach the martial art itself anymore. I kick people in the head for 2 decades. I don't want to do that. So this is for anyone, and I mean anyone. If you have lungs, you qualify. If you don't, well, I can't really help you. But if you have lungs and you have a body and you have a desire to heal yourself and use your body, use your lungs, use the oxygen, use ourselves in a way that we were never taught how, but is extremely effective to put ourselves and take ourselves into balance, into health, into homeostasis, where we live in the most toxic time of human history right now. Our food, our water, our air, our own thoughts, and our chemicals of stress, the 5G and other things that are around us, glyphosate, dioxin in the air. I mean, we have so many things that our body is having to fight off at all times that we did not evolve in order to handle. And so having a tool like this that will help you detox quickly, because over 70% of all of our toxins leave through our breath. But according to stats I read, over 85% of the human population only uses about 15% of their lung capacity. 15, not 50, 15%. Well, if we could teach people just how to breathe in a different way, different than other breath work that people are most familiar with, actually, it's amazing what can happen, because I really believe, Dr. Joan, that our body, and I'm sure you'd agree, it wants to be healthy. It wants to be balanced. It wants to be in a state of that homeostasis. Mm-hmm. But if we're always like a one-legged person in a butt-kicking fight, and we're always trying to walk uphill in snow both ways to school, figuratively, of course. Our body doesn't have that opportunity. It doesn't have the strength. So that is my mission, is to help as many humans, millions as possible, to not just survive, but thrive in the upcoming ecological, societal, and the spiritual and consciousness shifts and evolutions that are happening right now.
I love it. That's my mission too, to heal and inspire and uplift millions of people so they can step into their best gifts, the best version of themselves. So it's always fun to meet someone who's doing the same thing. So, wow, I don't know, almost even know what to say to all of that. That is a lot of how you've transformed. So how does someone like work with you then? Like what happens if they call you and they say, oh my God, Nate, I want to like expand my ninja powers and
Yes, I love that.
of myself. What do we do?
Our ninja Jedi powers, absolutely. I have 4 ways that people can get started and work with me. The first one is one-on-one. So for people who are like professional athletes, CEOs, people who it's a very high touch, exclusive training. It's one-on-one usually, or one-on-two, and we go as deep as you can possibly go in this system, but also bringing all the biohacking and all of the technological goodies to help really elevate people as fast as possible, but not just give them experience, give them a lifelong tool and set of tools and the support that they need in order to continue to make advancements and actually benefit their life and the people that they serve. So that's the first one-on-one. Second one is I hold webinars every single month that people can come on and jump on for free. But then I give people the opportunity to work with me in online classes and group classes. And that's something that I just love to do. We have such amazing breakthroughs every single month. It's truly amazing. So that's the second way. The third way is through in-person events, which I have a couple coming up. One is in January, late January, in Los Angeles area. The second one is going to be in April, and that's a very deep dive, very exclusive resort experience in Costa Rica. So we'll be
resort in Costa Rica. Okay.
In Costa Rica, yes. So that is going to be one of the, if not the most intensive and most deep dive trainings I've ever done of the White Dove method, but also with the different biohacking tools brought in for that. It's going to be my quintessential work that I've ever done. And then I'll also be in Sedona in May. So we'll be doing some UFO tours and things like that with some different different co-facilitators to say. And so the fourth way. So far, one-on-one, group classes online. Third one is in-person events. Fourth one is do it yourself, which are online courses. Now, I've had people literally in 5 minutes have relief from asthma or long COVID that they haven't had through any medical or any respiratory therapy in their whole life. Wow. In 5 minutes. This is not your average hyperventilate till you pass out, see God, or throw up kind of breath work. This is different. So it's based on intermittent hypoxia and using our body as an electrical coil to create a greater electrical charge through our entire 60,000 miles of blood vessels. So people learn how to do that at home through either my masterclass, my LEAP, which is my Life Force Energy Ascension Protocol class, which that is the same training as they give to every branch of the Indonesian military, but also the martial art of Merpati Putih, the White Dove system, and also senior centers. I mean, it is cultural heritage for Indonesia, but it is a life transformer within just a few minutes. So the LEAP program is where I suggest everybody starts, and then even before they come to work with me. And so people can go right to my website at iampure.energy. I wanted to get a really cool website name that really resonated.
I looked at that and I thought that's amazing. I love that. iampure.energy. Yes. You know, I have to say that you've been on quite a journey, because when you start and you say, I was bullied, I didn't look like other people, I was harassed, I was ready to commit suicide because I was so different. And yet here you are, such an advanced being. And I'm assuming you were pretty advanced as a child. in your abilities then. So it goes to show you, I think that some of us have to have a hard training as children in order to really learn how to be adaptable and how to wade through and eliminate what doesn't work. So I want to say congratulations for you for finding your true self. Number one, I mean, that's so impressive. And I keep hearing, I've talked a lot about your ninja superpowers. And very few people, a lot of people talk about it, but not everyone can train people in that.
Yes.
And so I feel like that's really what you're doing. You are a superpower ninja trainer extraordinaire. It's exactly the way I'm going to term you in my
I
own.
love it. I haven't heard that one before, Dr. Joan, but I like it. And, to that point, that's one thing that I really resonated with this is it's a method. It's not, you have to be born in a certain place, believe in certain things, hit a bell and go Rama Lama Ding Dong, or anything that is not based in reproduction, meaning you can't reproduce those
Yes.
things. Now, that doesn't mean those things are not valid, but what it does mean is that if you want to learn gymnastics and you say, oh, well, everyone is Simone Biles, oh, the best gymnast of all time. Well, no,
Sure.
that's not true. She has a lot of natural talent, and I don't know if anybody can work harder than she has to become as excellent as she has. So the thing is, though, we need to have the right tools in our toolbox. I really liken myself more to a Sherpa. So I'll help you up the mountain, but you have to choose what your route is. If you try to go up Mount Everest and you're wearing flip-flops and a t-shirt and shorts, you're gonna have a bad time. My job and my passion is to help you have the best crampons and ice axes and ropes and best North Face tents and the best nutrition and oxygen tanks. I want to help you get those tools. But when it comes down to it, it's up to every individual to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, decide where they want to go, and actually make that ascent themselves with help is fine. But I'm not a helicopter. And there are a lot of people in the spiritual realm that purport to be a helicopter and take people to those places. And I just really feel that's not genuine, because if you take away somebody's agency for their own spiritual and consciousness evolution and revolution, well, I think that's one of the biggest disservices that you can give to a soul, is to take away their ability to grow.
I agree. I think you have extraordinary gifts, Nate. I just love talking to you. I've interviewed lots and lots of people over the years, and you come across as the real deal. That's, the real empowered. And I think that the audience is going to love you. I think Gnostic TV will love you. Are you going to be at the Conscious Life Expo?
I'm not sure what that is. I haven't been notified of that yet.
Okay. Well, Conscious Life Expo is one of the largest conscious expos, like 14,000 people come, and I'm going to tell you about it after the show. Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about it. Also, Sedona, I have some great friends up there who do UFO tours, and make sure you get to go the ones with the goggles.
Oh, yes.
I brought my son up there a few months ago. We were at the Sedona Ascension Conference. He helped me, and I took him on one of those tours, and his mind was blown, because he's got, he tries to go between his mom and his father, who's very conservative and thinks I'm a little bit of a witch. So for him, it was a huge deal that he's seeing these UFOs up there with his own eyes. It wasn't something I told him. So you're going to have an extraordinary journey. Anyway, guys, is there anything else you want to say at the end? I know you told us to find your website, IamPure.energy.
Absolutely. And I would just like to say to everyone out there, as the infinite, unlimited, eternal being that you are, create a great now and day on purpose.
I love it. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. I'm just going to put you in the back for a second. Okay, guys, I'm totally blown away. This man is incredible. The work that he's teaching is going to train you how to not only be the best version of yourself, but really to be that ninja superpower energy that we came down here to be. Because I remember coming down here and having my wings torn off years and lifetimes ago, and many of you had the same experience. And so just to be able to come back together and bring all those aspects back is extremely empowering. So reach out to Nate at iampure.energy. I'm Dr. Joan of Angels.
Thank you for joining us on the Dr. Joan Show. Remember, you are powerful, limitless, and you are here for a reason. Stay inspired, stay protected, and keep shining your light. Until next time, miracles are waiting for you.